So, hello everyone. I figured the laptop was cutting out, so I thought maybe if I just use my phone, it'll be just easier. So, anyways, to continue with this idea, the healthapocalypse. Here, let me put this here. God. I don't know if I can balance. Okay, this is good. All right, guys. So, or I come here and show you this. Yeah. Come here. Okay, whatever. So, anyways, guys, back to it. The health apocalypse. Pretty much, I'm just going to continue whatever the other parts are there. So I was like, okay, these fats right now, we're living in an era. I was talking about marketing. I wanted to say this thing that in Japan, certain companies don't spend money on advertising. Rather, they spend money on making a high quality product, right? And so imagine you're being, you open your eyes in this world and you wonder, why shouldn't this place be a great world? Why shouldn't there be great beings? Why shouldn't there be great products? Why shouldn't there be great actions, great visions, great efforts? You see what I'm saying? Why shouldn't this stuff be there? Right? So for me, it's this view where my whole life I was so okay with something not being there. Now I'm seeing that now that we're alive is the only time we can bring it here. Do you understand? Now is our performance. Right? It's not like in an afterlife I'm going to build an advanced civilization on Earth. It's something you can do now. Okay? And so I find that back in the day, the bedtime stories were, in some sense, like, yo, children, there were magical beings, like dragons in the sky. There were warriors, and Hercules punched the monster. Do you see, like stuff like that? Okay, but now, it has gone to a level of sci-fi. Do you understand? I really feel like life is taking me to write some next level sci-fi for this world. But what it is I'm trying to say that it's the future, our fascination with the future. This is very important. Jesus Christ, what is this saying? Alright, guys, so I gotta put this here for a moment. Excuse me, guys, to continue. I'm learning, guys, I'm learning. Forgive me. Alright, to continue. Okay, guys, alright, we're back. This is working. Hold on. Okay, whatever. I think it's audible. Is it audible right now? Should be audible. Okay, there we go. So, to continue. What I'm trying to say is right now we're experiencing a weird era of marketing, okay? Right now I was looking at TV and I'm like, what is this stupid shit? Right? And sorry, like I'm being so frank and just intense because it was like, I was like, man, the world and the marketing universes have forgotten something. People have misunderstood. People misvalued honesty or devalued honesty. right? But they didn't realize that's the biggest resource. That's what you want from people, from yourself, from your world, from your work, from your destiny. Do you understand? So what I'm trying to say is that the world has lied to itself, and it's experiencing itself low resolution. Okay? And I understand, Sun Tzu was like, you know, Sun Tzu was like, yo, the art of war is deception, and let's say the demonic enterprise was like, oh yeah, but let me tell you, you are deceiving yourself if you are in a place for a little while or for some time and you don't take it seriously. You see, the issue that we're finding ourselves is that the human being is getting bored of being human. This is the fears of the future, okay? I'll give an episode on this, the fears of the future. Because there's nothing to fear in a world where we're still intelligent enough to engage. Okay, that's the most important thing. Humanity is still here. So, what is my effort? What is my intent with this? What I'm trying to tell you, dear viewers, is that the stories we have been telling ourselves as creatures is not enough. And now the human spirit must become active on Earth. No longer deactive. Let me tell you why. Okay, because in our own home we have forgotten our permission, our authorization. We are creatures in the cosmos that are authorized to be this. That is why it's happening. Divinity sometimes is realizing consciousness is how the whole universe is being live streamed. So this is the argument, right? This is my view. I'm pretty much saying, yo, there's so many stuff that are like, isn't it funny that all our emotional desires align with stuff that destroys us? Like, I mean, like this is like, it's like, yo, get a clue, human species. Do you know what I'm saying? So my intent as a human being on this earth, 1 in 8 billion, is that I was like, okay, do I want to live with honor? Do I want to honor my species? Do I want to care for the species? And I was like, yo, the species could act all this dishonorable they want. In my inner realms, as long as I'm alive in this world, I will walk as if the greatest potential of humanity is the highest honor. You know? When I was younger, I was scared of the dark. I think I was 7 or something. And I went to my mother, I'm like, what should I do? And my mother was she was a religious woman at the time, very religious. And not extremely, but, her heart was very religious. And my mother says, say in the name of the God that is loving and merciful. And so every night, this little kid in Iran, 7-year-old kid in Iran, would go to sleep and say in the name of God, the loving God, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, I would say that 7 times. Now that I've ran 31 laps around the sun, my heart has said that, but now I say in the name of the most advanced. Do you understand? That's the spirit I walk in. The advancement is the royalty of consciousness, a conscious being in a universe. Before you are any shape, you have been authorized to know space. That's called your mind. So, This idea is very important. I've shared it with the human species. The human species can go do what it wants, just my attitude is that, you know, leave no stone unturned, and in some sense we must honor all our efforts. Okay, it's not an individual job anymore. To be a human being is to be collectively responsible for the destiny of 8 billion beings. That's what it means to be human. I want to read for the viewers something that this Persian poet from, I think, 700 years ago, this mystic poet said. I think this is very important just to hear it as a human being. The poet Sadi says, human beings are members of a whole, in creation of one essence and soul. If one member is afflicted with pain, I think this is better. If one member is afflicted with pain, okay, I'll read it again, guys. So, human beings are members of a whole, in creation of one essence and soul. If one member is afflicted with pain, other members uneasy will remain. If you have no sympathy for human pain, the name of human you cannot retain. So this is literally an instruction that if you do not care for human beings, you are not human. Most likely, Kama will escape out of this space. Right now, what is going on Earth is, you could say, one of the most advanced events. People were like, yo, we had nuclear wars, and aliens thought, like, aliens noticed us. I was like, yo, guys, we're being intelligent in the middle of nowhere. Trust me, if there was greater intelligence, we're here. It's just waiting for us to not freak out enough to notice it. We fear what we don't understand, and this is how our worlds become limited. So to continue, I'm saying that we are experiencing right now a hilarious phase in history, okay? A hilarious phase where low quality products are being sold to people. And from the past, people are like, be grateful that there's anything at all. And I'll be like, sure, man, I'll be grateful. But then from the future, you're like, yo, why so inefficient? Why not lead with your heart first, then your mind? Do you understand? Because let me tell you, anybody who is right during this moment, this Mr. Within talk, listen, if you want to save the world cannot be saved from a leader's mind. The world can be saved like a lead. That means if leaders on earth were in a room and I was standing there and they were all waiting for me to say something, I would say, you cannot save the world with your mind, but you may be able to with your heart. Do you understand? I am that human being. My allegiance is to with the inconceivable future. I am their guardian. As you all are, when you realize. You realize. Why else is your consciousness here? Why else is mystery here? Why is the context unknown? Why are there so many unanswered questions? And why is there infinite questions to ask? Unbelievable, beyond our know-how. Do you see where we are? Wake up, humanity. Do you see where you are? You're not your name. You're not a concept. You are who the light beams of the sun have pilgrimaged to meet. You are who the whole cosmos has journeyed to meet. And once you can trust the unknown world, you will no longer animate as a creature of fear. Because the invisible hand is not just in economics. Nature knows what man attempts. Okay, anyways, guys, sorry, I'm gonna keep going with the argument here. So what I'm trying to say is that right now in human history, what we're experiencing, okay, is a level of humanity that is trying to sell low quality service. Like it's literally like, because we don't care for the world, we don't care what we give it. We don't care how we help it. We don't care what is actually there. So to continue, what I'm trying to tell the viewers here is simply this. Man, hopefully I could get the idea out. So I spoke in earlier talks about this idea of honest marketing, where I was like, all these like teams of creative people, you're like, yo, what do we sell to people? How do we sell it to people? Yo, we gotta sell like this low quality product as a high value illusion, right? That means things that actually destroy people can be given the allure. This is called literally shape shifting. Okay, right now when a person lies, they're actually living like a shapeshifter. When you are honest, you live as a human. You can live as a human. To continue, okay. You know, I just noticed I wanted to give this talk called, you know, are we living in, is the world fiction or nonfiction? Okay. And because the fiction has become, nonfiction has become boring, right? The marketing angle, common sense was like, yo, we're gonna give them fiction, right? We're gonna fantasize products, so people are gonna like do this, right? You can even sexualize a product, okay? Do you understand? It's like the moment it's like the Buddha said, objects have no nature of their own. It is our attention, it is our mind that suddenly perceives something to be animate with meaning. So what Mr. Within is pretty much saying is that, yo, if I'll cut everybody some slack. Everybody in the marketing, in the, you know, illusion, deception environment. Let me tell you a way you could make money, incredible amounts of money, and also feel good about it. Okay. That's the whole point of an advanced civilization. We find out what the most advanced thing is, right? I created this thing called the advanced principle, and the idea was that pretty much I was cooking food, and I was like, yo, there's somebody on the planet right now that could cook this food more advanced than me. So I was like, yo, there's a way right now to be a human being on this planet that is way more advanced than we're being right now. Okay, so this means everybody has a potential for advancement. So as long as you have potential for advancement, there's no measure of ability, right? The measure of ability is being based on what you do with what you are while you're here. And it's a cool vibe. I don't know. You get used to it after like 30 laps around the sun, and you're like, okay, so we're in this like strange situation on a rock spinning in the middle of nowhere after 4.5 billion years or whatever time span we fathom to the void, right? Suddenly there appeared, this creature and this object that was this biological body, geometrically unique biological body that could be separate from nature. So nature separated from itself, then nature noticed it separated from itself. Do you see what I'm saying? So because nature notices separated itself, that's kind of like what I call, they don't teach in the educational system, and they should, and this is of course my own unique vision, where I call it the subjective evolution. Something happened where an inner life began occurring, and the inner life of man began becoming more important, and people began becoming conscious of it. Okay, and the reason this happened was due to the advanced technology of language. That means if somebody was like, yo, before the internet, what was something as advanced as the internet? Language. And then somebody's like, yo, if before language, what was more advanced technology, advanced technology before language? Somebody would say behavior. And then they would be like, yo, what's a more advanced technology than that? It would be the whole world, nature. Do you see? It's like we start specific, go general, then from general go specific. Life is a wave, not per se an acceptance of one side of a coin that's always spinning. I thought about it hilariously one day, where I was like, yo, there's no smart and stupid people. If the species fails, like, we were all stupid. If the species succeeds, we're all smart. Do you get it? Like, that's how it is. So we have to try to pretty much, what's the task of human consciousness? It's kind of cool, right? It's like a video game. You suddenly, it's like the character's already customized. That's called your genetics. Okay, and so this character suddenly appears in this three-dimensional, visual, and virtual, elemental base. Instead of pixels, it's the periodic table, right? Kind of video game. Okay, and the cool thing is, we are not always in this character because we log out at night and we experience unconsciousness, and we don't even freak out and wake up the next day like, yo, it's like it's like, yo, I just, I closed my eyes, shut down like a computer for like 8 hours, and suddenly rebooted, restarted, right? And still I'm scared of death. How ridiculous is that, right? Like, that's super ridiculous. Sleep has prepared us for nothingness by telling us it's nothing. But the point is, what do we do with everything while we're experiencing everything? That's the coolness of life. So I was like, yo, if I could see everybody, let's say evil people look at the species and they're like, yo, I see an evil species here. We could have an evil world here. And imagine good people look at this and they're like, yo, we can have a good world here. And Mr. Within is looking at this like, yo, this good and evil never stopping. These guys are in a loop and they don't even realize, right? They're destined to, like, evil beings are endlessly destined to get punished by good beings, and good beings are endlessly destined to meet evil beings to, like, challenge. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole thing. It's a game, right? Spirituality means you're wondering, yo, who am I before I was a player in a game that was beyond my will. That's when you start caring about mysticism. That's when suddenly your spiritual friends become people who had actually looked at something very deeply in life. Some experience, something had happened, you know? The human mind is very fascinating because we have no idea what it is. Somebody was like, yo, do we just name like what the neurons are doing? Do we just create verbs in the void and just consider it as truth? And somebody was like, yeah, I mean, what else can we do? So what I'm trying to tell people is that why are we living in a low resolution world? On YouTube, this is the blessings of the great, like YouTube has honestly been, I would love to go work for YouTube one day. Honestly, if they were like, yo, Mr. Within, you want to work for YouTube? I'll be like, I thought you'd never ask. You know, I mean, technically I am, you know, it's blessed opportunity working with YouTube. But anything has potential if you can expand the context to what the future actually deserves. Okay, the idea is like, yo, what's the point of being an artificial person, like a rich artificial being in a real world? Like the richness is reality, yo. You know, it's like, can you imagine in the future rappers are gonna be like, yo, you know, like, excuse my language, but are gonna be like, yo, there was pussy, money, weed, but then I went and climbed a tree. Enlightenment seemed easy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's like that, like it could have been something like that, right? People are gonna realize the simple life really is very close to the divine life. You know, sometimes when I'm with someone who does something evil or good, even greatly good, I simplify myself. What that means is there's a way I've realized, I mean, somebody could be like, Mr. Within, are you that lazy? I'll be like, no, 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 no. It's Taoism. Action through inaction. What I mean is that I'm playfully, because I get bored, my mind gets bored with my existence, I gotta do something. So if I'm too tired to do it physically, I do it in my inner realms. What do I do in my inner realms? I'm a human being who has realized the way my mind works is that I think all of our minds actually work like this, is in front of your eyes, your outer realms, you're an object. So it's the character in the video game is an object. But in the inner realms, we've been treating ourselves like fools, like naive fools. You know, I'm a thought, and I'm a thought that is thinking a thought, even though thinking is a thought. In the universe of thoughts, nouns and verbs are both thoughts. Do you see what I'm saying? The word thought was like some blindfold on the masses for no reason. I'm trying to say, guys, everybody on the planet, my fellow human species, in the name of the most advanced, I find the greatest strategy for the human species to, in some sense, realize that human beings, due to their temporary lives, let's just say 100-year lifespan, okay, let's say if everybody was living 100 years, we're asking ourselves in these 100 years, excuse me, in these 100 years, what is the greatest, most efficient life a human being can live? Okay, this is one of those fascinating puzzles to solve till the end of my life kind of things. Yeah. But really, what it is I'm kind of wondering, like, yo, why have we decided that the world doesn't deserve our most honest, advanced, and greatest self? Whoever you are listening, you have not come into this world just to meet others. You have not come into this world just to meet other physical beings and be like, yo, are you my guru? And the person's like, yo, get away from me. You know, you have come into this world to realize you have come into this world to also meet yourself for the first time, to discover your own abilities, capabilities. This is what they don't tell the young mind, that if you stop judging yourself, you'll discover your talents. If you stop comparing yourself, maybe your future self, you might get it blessed enough to compare yourself to your future self or your past self. You understand? Those people who are polite, those people who are honorable, people are like, yo, man, is it easy for you? And it's like, no, we do it for the honor of where we're going. That's it. Okay, we're being advanced beings for the honor, for the sake of those children who are going to open their eyes in this world and be like, okay, there's something to do here. Humanity, our ancestors weren't asleep. Do you understand? if the future generations come up and they're like, yo, our ancestors didn't do jack. I am saying this is the revolution. The health apocalypse is this playful idea that technology will bring forth an incredible revolution where we're going to, in some sense, make everything that means all the food you eat will be it will be advancing, giving you pure energy. You understand? Because the idea is, even if you're evil, let's say, I'll even dismantle the argument if you're an evil person. Let me say it this way. Let's say there's someone who's like, yo, man, I'm freaking evil. Okay? Imagine there's someone that evil, okay? That evil where they look in the mirror and I'm like, holy shit, that's evil what I'm looking at. You know? So let's say you're someone who you're evil. So what is the logic? Logic surpasses good and evil. Logic has to do with sequences of the geometry of the world you're in. Okay? So let's say you're an evil person and you're like, yo, when I was a kid, I got bullied in school. And I'm gonna take out my, this hatred I have, on the human species, right? And people are like, what the fuck, man? But let's say that's the case. Let's say somebody was evil to a human being, and that human being was like, yo, this human being is evil because it does evil, so it deserves evil. I'm gonna give it evil. Trust me, the conqueror energy is in multiple realities. It's like when your mind opens up to other contexts that the world can happen, you will laugh at who you thought you were in a singular moment. What I'm trying to say is that we have reached this point where we have to, as a human being, not just pick up trash, like that shit is basic, but we have to, for a moment, every human being, this is, guys, Shakespeare has a quote, some people are born great, some people have achieved greatness, and some people have greatness thrust upon them. Guess what? The species right now has greatness thrust upon it. What does it mean? That means everybody, for the sake of the future generations, you have to become a critical thinker. A critical thinker means to be fearless enough to reinvent the wheel of the meaning that you perceive in every moment. That's what it means to be an advanced being, that you have an advanced access to your world. The way I speak about it, you think I see like a good and evil, like smart and stupid people on this planet? No. I see advanced communicators, and I see that the advanced communicator is the most advanced communication of the universal sector. It is the secular divinity restoration. You don't know like how excited I am when I'm sharing this episode, because let me tell you what it is. It's the chess move that nobody thought like would happen, because we thought it was a bit corny, but it was like, but it was the most genius chess move we needed. Okay? And this is the chess move, and this is, I'll finish the argument for evil. Let's just say, just as I'm someone who writes science fiction, so I create characters often. So I can try to create a character of an evil person right now trying to conquer a world. Okay? So the evil person would be like, okay, control is all about blind spots. So I'll go build my own influence in the blind spot of these creatures. And then these creatures, when they notice their blind spots, they'll see me. Sure. Very, very like, I don't know, old school evil. Guys, when I say evil, I shouldn't be saying the word evil. See, there is no evil to me. I'm using that word so simply right now, but what I'm saying is inefficiency. That's the greatest evil. So I interpret the greatest evil as inefficiency, the greatest good as efficiency. If somebody says, Mr. Within, are you a good or bad being? I'll be like, I honestly don't know. That's for you to decide. I see myself as what ratio of efficient decisions that I make over the ratio of inefficient decisions I made. So if the ratio is above, if I'm making 50% more, like above 50% more efficient decisions in my life, you automatically notice advancement. Okay, it's kind of like chess, right? They say the 1% rule. So every day you learn 1% of something. That means you know 1% more about it. After like 100 days, maybe it's like, 100%. So what I'm trying to say, to continue, the argument for evil. Okay, evil is controlling the world. We'll be like, okay, why, evil person, are you controlling the world? We want to see, is it logical or is it insanity? If it's insanity, then that's like emotional, yo. That's not even a good reason. Like, there is no reason if it's insanity, right? If there's an insanity behind the evil in the world, like that means there's no organized chaos, then it's like, yo, it's like beastly, right? So beastly is weird. I don't know, maybe some advanced philosophers can go help me there, right? I don't know how to acknowledge the beastly dimension, right? But I do know how to acknowledge the authorization of beings dimension. Okay. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that we have seen a corrupt, think of it this way, in Buddhism, they had this incredible idea of the Buddha, that's an archetype, and the Bodhisattva. Okay? The Bodhisattva, let me say it this way. They were like, when you realize you are inside an individual hell, okay, that's like ignorance. When you realize you can get out of your individual hell, or you can convert your individual hell, that's called wisdom. And when you achieve the individual heaven, when you achieve the individual heaven, the heaven of yourself, okay, that's called Buddhahood. Buddha means awakened one. It means the dude suddenly noticed he's not just the dude. And everybody was like, oh my God. Who knew a smoker's lungs could be a bard, you know? But anyways, to continue. What I'm trying to say is that we ask the evil person, let me start from there. We ask the evil person, like, why are you being evil? And the evil person's like, yo, man, because people are evil, and why not? Like, why shouldn't I just care for myself? You know, every king has cared for themselves. Like, the ultimatum of an archetype is like a super powerful human being has a super powerful kingdom, team, crew, army, all of this. And I was like, okay, so I'm getting the sense that it's the archaic revival of the conqueror spirit, but right now it's a civilized humanity. So what do we do with this conqueror spirit, whether it's good or evil beings, that's archaically reviving in beings, right? Like, for example, some people may think like, let me say it this way, right? The world needs a spectrum. What does that mean? That means, how would the good people know what's good if there weren't bad beings? How would bad beings know what's bad if there weren't good beings? Right? So the mystery of why it's there is one of the first steps towards the divine. Okay, the divine is not an idea. If you make it into an idea, then it's not divine, it's your mind. Do you understand? The only way you can figure out if there's something more than your mind is if you put no effort and watch through complete stillness and silence what you are. And for a second, forget all context, and this is called like meditation. Okay, and some say, like for example, Swami Krishnananda. Sorry guys. best time to quit cigarettes is before you ever smoke your first one, and you know, I'm done with that. So anyways, to continue, I'm saying the evil person wants an outcome. Now the question is, what kind of outcome do you want? That means, let's say we found the most powerful good person on the planet. Let's say I started a consulting, like visionary consulting firm in the future, and the most powerful good person and the most powerful bad person both came into like a meeting, okay? Or let's say we were like in the lobby and having coffee, and both of them came and asked like a question, okay? And I was like, okay, so the idea would be good wants a good outcome, bad wants a bad outcome, right? Both of them want to win. Whether you're good, you want the good to win. Whether you're bad, you want the bad to win. Pretty much like, same thing with sport teams. So what I'm trying to say, the argument would be, okay, most powerful bad being, would you be interested in the most advanced form of bad? And let's say the bad being's like, yeah, man, I'd be interested in the most advanced form of like bad, right? And let's say I asked the good person, hey, would you be interested in the most advanced good? And let's say the most powerful good person is like, yeah, man, I'd be interested in the most advanced good. I'll be like, okay. So let's stop all the battles. Let's stop all the deceptions. Let's come to the level of honest human beings on a planet, and let's build an advanced civilization. Then in an advanced civilization, play your games, be as evil as you want, be as good as you want. By that time, the world would be bigger than good and evil, dear friends. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. I don't have a microphone in my hand, but I'm going to drop this pen on my laptop. So what I'm saying is, the argument would be like, yo, and this argument is also transcendentally. I'm speaking to interdimensionally. Okay, I'm pretty much speaking to whatever this world is. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm pretty much like broadcasting a wave into the cosmos. People are like, yo, man, this guy's talking in a microphone. I'll be like, yo, it's more than that. I'm sending signals to the Andromeda Galaxy. Yo, guys, you forgot me. What I'm trying to say is, whether you're good or evil, the Buddha figured it out. Okay, and I never finished that idea. So when you get out of the individual hell into the individual heaven, that's called Buddhahood. Then when you get into the individual heaven, when you attain Buddhahood, you realize the collective hell. You realize the collective hell. That's the 2023. People are like, yo, it's nice though. I'll be like, no. You don't see it contextually. Conceptually, of course. You know, we have air conditioning. So what I'm saying is, I'm saying that all beings, I don't know why, but I feel like my heart's alive for this. In so many talks, I felt like I'm telling this might sound bizarre, but like, just, you know, this is my own feeling. I'm trying to share a feeling, trying to be a poet here, okay? I've had moments where I felt like I've commanded all the world that I have access to in my consciousness to help humanity build the most advanced, incredible event in the universal sector. We don't realize how advanced beings we are, and we don't realize the destiny. You see chess right now in 2023, what we think is chess. Do you know, like in 1,000 years from now, what advanced organizational systems will be put upon civilization by just the mere possibilities of chess moves. Geometry loves itself. This is as someone who, when I was younger, I would say I have access to Plato's world of forms. That means my inner realms moves geometrically for some reason. I'm like, yo, I don't even have like art supplies, but my mind's drawing art. So anyways, what I'm saying is good, evil, endless loop. You could be good and evil, or you could help humanity. Everybody can help themselves by actually being like, yo, what if we actually, and by the way, when you attain the collective heaven, that archetype in Buddhism is called the Bodhisattva. And the Bodhisattva is not a being that is experiencing the suffering of its body. It is experiencing the suffering of all living beings in the universe. So when you experience that, they kind of say that it's like some people don't realize like how sealed the human heart is right now. And of course in Vedic thought they say it's like Kali Yuga reasoning. But what I would say, Kali Yuga means that this world is never actually a physical world and with creature physical beings in it. This is still a world of the gods, but it's going through a season of manifestation, Kali Yuga. That means the lower energies are putting out their cause. So we, for some reason that our consciousness is here, we're like, okay, what's the most advanced strategy? Because what humanity has access to is an ability to take one moment of consciousness and compartmentalize it into past, present, future, treat the past as ridiculous geometrical archives of self-simulated moments, and use those self-simulations to, in some sense, create endless or infinite visualizations for the future. So we're the moment we see a past, the future it's destined for the future. In other words, the destiny of the future and the birth of the and the past are born at the same time. The destiny of the future and the life of the past, the efforts of the past are born at the same time. So non-existence is hilariously a future of inconceivable being. People were like, yo, Mr.Within, what does that mean? Does that mean we die? And I'll be like, this is the bizarre thing. What are you identifying as? And what part of this, whatever years of life you've been alive, are you identifying? Like, do you identify as a baby? Do you identify like when you were 10 years old? Do you identify like when you were, let's say, like 90 years old or something? Do you see what I'm saying? So in this biological world where you're a changing, growing being, like, it's like, how are we keeping ourselves as a singular idea? It's like we've been verbs this whole time, and we've been like, in society's like, no, you're a noun. That's why you have a name. Ludwig Wittgenstein said the limits of my language were my world, and the analytical philosophers were like, I don't understand that, man. Get these guys out of here. And the world suffered through its absence. You don't understand. Think of it this way. Imagine, like, just think about it this way, guys. This might sound insane, but I would think this would be the most logical way that the pharaoh would build the pyramid, okay? He wouldn't have the pyramid built by weak, starving slaves, right? This might sound bizarre, right? And I don't know, guys, maybe, of course, maybe there's complete, maybe there's a complete, like, something about this, I don't know. But I'm saying, like, yo, if you wanted a group of people to build like a pyramid for you really quickly, you'd want healthy, advanced beings to build it quickly for you, right? So you'd want to give them the best food, the best water. They have to sleep all the time and then work perfectly, high quality. Do you understand? rather than like have a starving human being have no energy to push anything. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? That would be like the logical approach, right? But also the best thing I've heard about the pyramids is that it was built by giant beings. When I heard that, I was like, you won me, man. That's it. You know, that's like for giant beings built the pyramid in 3 days, and people were like, it took so long, you know. Imagine 4 giant beings or 3 giant beings built 3 giant pyramids, and that was like their huts. No, I'm joking. Anyways, guys, I'm drifting here. Let me go back to this idea. I'm trying to say good and evil arguments there are, right? But all I'm saying is, let's for a second, before good and evil endlessly fight till the end of time, let's for a second double check reality and be like, yo, are there other angles to look at something? Like you can hold an object in your hand, move it, and look at different angles of it, right? Why are we not doing this with ideas? Why are we not doing this with our beliefs? Why does a belief have to be just one context of truth? Why does one person say, yo, I experience my belief this way to be true, right? So your belief is untrue. Get out of here, man. It's like, what kind of humanness is that? That's demonness. You see, and let me tell you why. Because something that the religions forgot, because politics kind of possessed religion at some point, which is, I think, impure. But because politics is about domination, religion is about submission. Religion is about getting, put it like lessening your ego, becoming humble. Politics is about like armoring your ego, you know? So, like an armored ego. By the way, guys, if there's any company in the world building giant robots, please, I'll volunteer there for free even. Just, you know, reach out to me, you know. So anyways, where I'm going with this is, I'm saying we have experienced the collective hell, and it's not hell. An ancient word was for, archaic word was hell. The modern world is we have experienced collective inefficiency, but we don't know what our collective efficiency looks like. That's the point. We don't know how great we can be. We know how, like, excuse me, how shitty we can be as creatures. Okay, how messed up, how cruel, how unnecessary, how inefficient we can be. Like, of course, we have been beasts before we were civilized. Everybody has the capacity to become a beast, but like, our ancestors lived so we didn't live as beasts. That's why we wore clothes. That's why we started behaving like human beings. Okay, the reason that your humanness is defined by the absence of your beastliness. Nobody can be a beastly and be like, yo, I'm a human. It's like, yo, what is that? It's like, bro, relax, then you're a human. You know, people are going to be like, you know, imagine aliens, clones, right? You know, androids, advanced AI, they all come to, in the future, they come to humanity and they're like, yo, humanity, or even cyber beings, you know, they come to humanity. It's like, yo, how can we be human? And we'll be like, guys, the biggest core thing about being human is to be chill, okay? Guys, that's our whole diplomatic relationship with extraterrestrials, right? We just have to send the hipster, you know? The hipster's like, yo, man, you chill? It's like, yo, they're chill. It's like the hipster comes back to the governments of the world. Yo, the aliens are chill, guys. You know, they're chill. It's like diplomacy achieved. So what I'm saying, dear viewers, in order to experience the collective heaven, which is the beautiful idea of building paradise on earth, and honestly, I'm someone who, I don't have an agenda, but I have a strategy. Like, that's my whole life's work. People think Mr. Within's gift is the point. The Mr. Within's gift is like, kind of like, you know, the most important, but in some, it's kind of like the behind the scenes of like the Project Civilization 2.0. So if I'm alive in the future, you're going to see me talk about advanced civilizations pretty much my whole life. And then at some point I'll be like, okay, getting tired. It's like imagine, like a mad designer. I try to build an advanced civilization, and somebody's like, "Yo, find him a wife. He's destroying himself." But anyways, guys, what I'm trying to say is our species has no reason not to experience incredible efficiency right now. That's the truth. You have no reason not to wonder about what the most advanced version of you, like, don't you want to meet the most advanced version of yourself in this lifetime? Don't you want to feel how walking in that inner Iron Man suit is like? Your honor is your Iron Man suit. They were like, yo, how is that good person so strong? How is that samurai so able in battlefield? Because if you maintain honor and your decency resonance, you are not doing anything wrong. The smartest warriors go in the battlefield with the karma of innocence. And people are like, yo, how did that guy survive at the end of the war? Because he didn't want to fight. The intent wasn't there to meet a destiny on the battle, like that. But doesn't mean a person, like, there were great next level martial artists. They would go in a battlefield and, like, let's say there was this advanced martial artist in a village, and let's say 12 bandits attacked, like, this temple or something, and this martial artist, let's say blind martial artist with a stick, okay, it's becoming too much like a Chinese movie. But imagine that, and this is the psychology, at least this is good to say, that the psychology of that next level martial artist was that in his mind, he was walking in a garden, he was fighting with that intensity, but all the bandits and ego bound and desire bound, or desire hounds, desire hound souls, do you know what I mean? Like, all those beings, like, that's what they didn't understand. And this is what it meant to cultivate mastery of the honesty of your world. You don't understand, there is a power to honesty, but it's not like, yo, look at my muscles, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you can flex in front of people, yo, look at how honest I am, Anyways. In the name of the most advanced, the Bodhisattvic chapter of humanity is upon us. What it means is that all the people using deception, falsehood to sell, don't. Be honest. All those people on YouTube, all the ads you have, just go there and be on. Be like, yo guys, I'm a person. I thought, like, I'd create an ad, okay? This is called the era of honest marketing. I talk and write about it often, as I've been saying. So the era of honest marketing, where people are like, yo, people trust you. Like, you give an opportunity to others to trust you when you're honest, right? So if companies have this approach where if they're selling a terrible product, they'll be like, sorry guys, we gotta sell you this low quality product, okay? Until, like, I know they might, like, see, this is the challenge, right? Do you want to sell garbage? Like, this is all those super billionaire companies, please. Like, even cigarette companies, please guys, do you want to sell garbage? I mean, like, do you understand? Like, at least, like, you deserve better. You're much worthier people than selling garbage. Do you know what I'm saying? I think this is everybody in, like, a culture, I remember, like, let me tell you something hilarious, right? As a Persian kid, when you make a mistake, your parents come and tell you, like, son, remember yourself. They don't come and say, oh, you fool, you goddamn fool. They imply it, of course. But, but they say, son, remember yourself. What are you doing? Like something like that, trying to revert to a better being. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not that your mind is changing all the time. Even an evil person may think they're evil all the time. No. When you're brushing your teeth, you're not evil. When you're drinking water, you're not evil. You're just a being in a world. The evil arises through your intent to destroy. And let me tell you, that's Shiva's work. Do you understand? This is why I'm saying people should not try to touch destruction too much. Okay? It's not even something to say too much because it's in the domain. Do you understand? That means there were imagine there were transcendental fields before human consciousness appeared on this rock. Should we ignore those? It's like we are the guests. The host of this world is beyond our shape. Do you understand? It's like we haven't met truth, but we're in truth's living room. And it's like a house party. It's a cosmic house party. And we're like, yo, man, I'm just standing here awkwardly, you know, too shy to go talk to anybody in the cosmos. And suddenly, the host comes and says, hey, welcome to this world. And that host is the future generations, believe it or not. If somebody's like, Mr.Within, do you serve a king? Do you serve any kingdom? I will say I serve the kingdoms in the sky in the future. I serve the kings, the king and queen I serve are the unborn future generations. That's the way I preserve my royalty. To me, even though people are going to be like, yo, you know, you're the son of a, you know, biological animal, you know, how can you claim cosmic royalty? I'll be like, humanity, the species is in a cosmic royal place. You think Earth is Earth until you close your eyes and you discover the inner skies. Okay? What I mean by the inner sky, I mean your presence as a being. See, somebody can come and judge your body. Sure. Somebody can come and judge the idea of you, your personality, your name, the character in the story you think you are. But can anybody judge your presence? Can anybody come to you and say, yo, I'm existing more than you as consciousness? It's like, no. In conscious experience of existence, we're all unknown beings in an unknown world. Welcome to the great game of humanity, everybody. It's not about known outcomes and sitting on comfortable couches. It's about advancing civilization, and for us to go as far as advanced as we can, so the future generations can go as far as they can. Do you understand? The future generations, those children must be born in a world where when they wake up, you turn on the news and you're like, oh my God, how many things are advancing in the world? Do you understand? There's going to be celebration cultures in the future. Every day is going to be an incredible celebration. Why? Because there's somewhere where we'd like to go as a species. To an incredible future. That's the point. Why are we here? Somebody can come in front of other people and be like, yo, I'm cool. You know, you guys are uncool. Or, you know what I mean? It's like nothing. It means nothing. We're a bunch of creatures on a rock in the middle of nowhere. Everybody is equal. Everybody is equal when it comes to solving this great mystical puzzle of reality. And my vision is you know, I want to start one of the most advanced research institutes on the planet. You know, hopefully I'll have allies who will help me. They were like, yo, School of Wizardry. I'm like, yo, man, you're too caught in the past. The School of Advanced Beings. The School of Advanced Civilizations. Do you understand? Like, it would be, I think, hopefully before this lifetime, like I should probably go in some university, right? And give a lecture on advanced civilization. And at the end of the lecture, they'll be like, who's this guy? I'll be like, sorry, guys, I thought I could use this place. I didn't realize it's not public. The greatest accidental course given in a university, you know, taught in a university. Anyways, guys, what I'm trying to say is so many people, their critical thinking is like, what do I deserve? But after you've, let's say, figured out those problems and you've tasted those desires and of your inner life, you're gonna realize it's so cool that we're all in an outer realms. Like, do you understand what it is? Like, people are like, yo, we're in the Matrix. Sometimes I'm like, yo, that's freaking hilarious. But let me explain the Matrix to you. The Matrix is that there is one, like a multiplayer online game, there's one outer realm, okay, one physical world, okay, instead of pixels, it's periodic table, you know. We're in one outer realms, 8 billion bodies in one outer realm, but each person is experiencing their own version of the earth. Do you understand? That means our humanness is individual to our inner realms, our psyche. Do you understand? That means our psyche is kind of our own fiction. Our body is the non-fiction where we're existing with everybody non-fiction. You know what I'm saying? So, dear marketers, everybody, go towards making everything healthy, okay? At any situations where we don't know what to do, there was this technique I developed where I'm like, anytime I would go in a situation where the situation was too complex, I would become simple. Anytime I went to a situation where it was so simple and nothing was happening, I would suddenly complexity. So I have this view of, in some sense, life being in some sense really a wave. You know, we're just waving through manifestation, I guess, I don't know. So, honest let the era of honest marketing begin. Mr. Within's going to declare this. Okay, so let's declare the era of honest marketing 2023. Yay. Is that the Swedes I hear clapping? I guess so. Yeah. That means direct honesty will make people appreciate because we're all human. We're all human. We can't hide anything. That's the truth. Because I think a part of us is designed to want to share who we are in the world, you know. Whilst we have mouths and ears and like ability to move around and interact and have like, you know, the elegance of cultural sophistication and advanced civilized behaviors, and even the more, like, the cool thing is, the more of an advanced being if you truly become an advanced being on this earth, you will become a pioneer automatically. I'm not kidding. Why? Because you notice that knowledge, its limit, it's just based on what's the newest view on that shit. You see what I'm saying? We're in an unknown world. We're all unknown beings. You wanted spirituality, you got it. But anyways, guys, in the name of the most advanced and in the honor of the most advanced civilizations, humanity is the golden child of this world. That means in the future we will even discover our sibling species, probably in other dimensions or maybe even in this dimension. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. I guess share, subscribe, comment, like, join. It takes a second, as scholars have said, and, you know, as experts say, it takes a second to actually subscribe. Yeah. Rise, mankind, rise.